Welcome back. Tonight we have a special News 24 in-studio debate. Our first debater is author of Bombs Over Baghdad, Diane Coulter.
It's good to be here.
As well as New Amsterdam Times best-selling author, Neza Naswan.
It really is a pleasure to be here.
And standing in the third corner, standing at 6 foot 1 inches, weighing in at 165 pounds, he's your Hogtown hero, Stephen Justice. As it is. Tonight, our topic shall be modern Islam and why the modern Middle East is a cesspool of Islamic terrorism. To begin, all of our participants will state their opening comments. Diane, you may start us off.
Thank you. I think the threat of Islamic imperialism to our oil, I meant our democracy, liberty, and our very way of existence, is the most big danger to us.
What way of existence is that? The way of existence that overthrew secular governments in the Middle East to serve the West's economic interest? The way of life that created all the modern instability in the region? The way of life that funded the precursors to Al-Qaeda to combat the interests of communism? How can you blame a 1400-year-old religion for modern-day reactions against 100 years of Western imperialism?
I would have to say I agree with both of you. While there is certainly concrete Quranic evidence to support what you're saying, it's not entirely the whole truth, because if you look at the long history of Islam, we see a very different Islam from the depictions you're showing of modern terrorist groups.
Exactly. During the Islamic Golden Age, cross-faith collaboration was encouraged by the great houses of philosophy.
But the jizya!
Oh, of course, I agree. The taxation of non-Muslims living in Muslim lands is terrible. However, these tax laws were usually adapted to meet the standards set by the previous occupants of the land.
Not to mention the large swaths of people who were exempt from paying it. This is a practice which Muslim nations generally do not impose anymore.
Well. Okay, let's try and get on a more specific topic. For example, Islamic Reformation?
I think to truly do that, you have to go back to the beginning of Islam. And to truly understand it, you really need to approach it from mostly a historic perspective, but to a lesser extent, a religious perspective as well. I think it's important to understand the theology of the matter.
Before the advent of Islam, the Arabian Peninsula was home to many tribal gods worshipped by the individual tribes. Muhammad was born to one of these tribes, the Quraysh tribe, which controlled the holy city of Mecca. Mecca was home to all the tribal idols, which were held in the Kaaba. Because of this, Mecca became a very wealthy city due to the influx of pilgrims. Muhammad was a merchant who became very respected in 605 CE when he helped resolve a local issue. A black stone was removed from the Kaaba, and the local chiefs were uncertain as to whom should place it back. Muhammad suggested that be placed on a sheet of fabric so all 4 chiefs could return it. When they entered the Kaaba, they agreed that Muhammad should return it to its place, showing the respect they had for him. Now we have to deviate from what is certain. In 610 CE, Muhammad was praying in a cave when apparently Gabriel, otherwise known as Jibreel, appeared before Muhammad and said he was ordained by God, or Allah, to be the final prophet. Then Jibreel told Muhammad the Quran. Muhammad later had the Quran written down as he orated. Initially, Muhammad and his followers were stricken out of Mecca as his teachings of monotheism were not accepted. After his tribe no longer extended its protection of him, Muhammad and his followers went on the Hijrah, which was the migration to the second holiest city in Islam, Medina. This event marks year 1 in the Islamic calendar. Muhammad would later raise an army and conquer Mecca, and his conquest would continue under the Caliphate, which was ruled by the Caliph, which means successor to the Prophet, not as a religious figure, but as a political one, because Muhammad was the last prophet, but, unlike Jesus, he was also a political ruler. This has also been the Sunni and Shia split. The Sunni believed that Abu Bakr should be the first caliph, whereas the Shia believed it should be Muhammad's son-in-law, Ali. The thing is, however, they both ended up being caliph at one time or another.
So, in short, Muhammad is seen as the final prophet of Islam. So therefore, I doubt Muslims as a whole will be able to accept a new prophet of sorts, a Martin Luther, if you will.
To see where modern-day Islamic terrorism begins, one has to look not, as some people claim, at the Crusades, but rather at the end of the First World War.
When the Ottomans were crushed, I may add.
Yes, and the ensuing colonialism set the perfect stage for the world as it is today, having another go at the apocalypse.
You're wrong. The West freed the people of the Middle East from their Muslim overlords.
To replace them with Christian ones. Perfect.
Yes, if we compare the modern unfortunate situation with the Islamic Golden Age, we can see what life was like at that time, starting with the Abbasid Caliphate.
But you're ignoring all of the invasions.
But that is something I expect with really any empire. But yes, I suppose if you really want to say it, you are true.
But it's the religious fervor that makes this conquest possible.
Yes and no. I would not say conquest is the primary aspect of Islam. However, there are aspects of Islam that are pro-conquest, if you will.
Truthfully, the main tenets of Islam can be found in the 5 pillars. These are the Shahada, Salat, Psalm, the Hajj, and Zakat. These are the most fundamental aspects of Islam. The Shahada is the affirmation of faith in God. One may not be a Muslim without saying it.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
It translates to there is no God but God and Muhammad is God's prophet. Next is Salat, the prescribed praying at dawn, midday, afternoon, sunset, and evening. Psalm is the fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. The Hajj is the pilgrimage of all whom are able to the holy city of Mecca. There they walk around the Kaaba and try and kiss the black rock. Lastly, Zakat, or almsgiving. Muslims who can afford it are encouraged to donate 2.5% of their yearly income to charitable causes.
Saying violence is necessary to Islam isn't really true. There is that reality today, but I believe that to be because mostly of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and American interventionism.
Yes, it was the Americans that funded the precursors to Al-Qaeda in their attempts to combat communism.
Communism is the sign of the end of times.
Ignoring the fact that what you just said makes no sense, I think a lot of Muslims were angered by American corporate neocolonialism, which ravaged a previously mostly stable region.
If Islam wasn't so violent, there wouldn't be any Muslim terrorism in the first place.
But. Guys, we good? Both of you people are far too incensed because of your strongly held positions. In reality, of course, we need to be talking moderately. We have to be seeing both sides of the story. To simply dismiss Islam is not beneficial because that will only strengthen the terrorists. And saying, oh, terrorism doesn't exist is also ridiculous. We have to look at the historical reasons behind things rather than our superstitions. We must let fact and logic triumph over speculation. We must be good people at heart. Thank you. I think the threat of Islamic imperialism...
Alright.
Can I just keep going?
Yeah, we can go keep... I have to agree with... For example, Allahu Akbar.
Okay.
I'm a gifted newbie.
Okay.
I'm a gifted newbie.
Okay.
I'm a gifted newbie.
I'm a gifted newbie. I'm a gifted newbie. I'm a gifted newbie. I'm a gifted newbie.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Alright.
Say la vie.
Whenever.
Yep. But the jizya!
But the jizya!
But the jizya!
Yeah, you know.
That's pretty bad.
Communism is the sign of the end of times.
Yes.
I'm gonna write your lines down so you won't forget them.
But, we ready?
But times
Yeah,
23.
Alright. Alright. But. No, keep saying, just keep over and over again, like for like 15 seconds. 50 seconds? Alright. You got this. Like, my arm hurts, like, can you hurry up?
Communism is the attempt of the murder of all generations.
saying?
I tried to memorize my line and it didn't work.
Communism is the sign of
How do
end
you
times.
act in, like-
7 words, Tristan.
How do you act
How many
in
words do you have to say?
How do you do it?
Lots of practice at memorizing lines. Communism is the sign of
See,
You
the
have,
how do
some, you have some Clark Kent hair going on right now, Ishmael.
Dope. Clark Kent is a nice dude.
Oh my god, it's not even a hair, it's just a shadow.
It's worse now.
It's a lot worse.
There, is
Oh my
it better?
God.
Is it good?
Ishmael, you're going to do your run again because it was like auto-focusing as soon as you started to speak.
Okay.
Why are the cameras racist?
Yeah, the camera hates brown people.
Yeah, I know, that's why it's owned by one.
The camera's like, fuck these guys.
Okay, go.
There wouldn't be Muslim terrorists.
If Muslim wasn't so violent...
Already wrong?
No, that's good, that's good, don't worry.
If Islam wasn't so violent, there wouldn't be any Muslim terrorists in the first place.
Whatever, you
Let's
can
say it
add
again.
it if you want.
Say that again.
If Islam wasn't so violent, there wouldn't be any Muslims in the first place.
No, I don't think that's the line we're gonna say.
Nope. Nope.
If Islam wasn't so violent, there wouldn't be any Muslim terrorism in the first place.
Good enough.
There we go. Let's go.
I was recording all of those. Try again.
Oh, it's already recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If Islam wasn't so violent, there wouldn't be any Muslim terrorism in the first place.
Nicely read.
Sorry, okay, let me try it again.
By golly, I think you're right.
Okay, that was good. Let's do another one.
Okay. The camera's like, fuck these guys.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
No, it's neo-corporate colonialism.
That's my previous line. That's why I said yes and no. Honestly, thank God. So.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
The bonus actions you see taken by certain experienced groups. Yeah. But at the same time, I think it's simply irrational to place the blame solely. Wait a minute. Try to lip sync to what you were saying. Missing the last bit though. Okay, if you look at the history of taking a selfie, you know those selfie sticks people have? They're usually banned these days. Oh. People like would like spin around like you knocked out like a priceless artifact. Oh man, let's see if I can do this.
Oh, almost fell. This is not a stable position. This one works.
Fortunately, because this is any person's supposed to.
I couldn't understand a single word of
I
that.
changed out.
Huh? What?
Yeah, this fucking no house.
Say that again?
Instead of no help.
When Islamic terrorism begins, one has to look not as some people claim at the Crusades, but rather at the end of the First World War.
Okay, are you good at memorizing that only because like you know the context? That
No, I
Probably.
just have a fairly good memory.
Also,
Are you serious?
the context makes sense.
Yeah.
You're that good?
Like it'd be harder for him to memorize gibberish.
It'd be harder to memorize like blah 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 blah.
Or you know,
Exactly like
What
that.
or you know, Muhammad ibn Musa. No, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khaz. No.
No, it's just Al Ibn Musa.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it starts with Al. Al Ibn Musa.
I think reference to that in this video. You know, no one who gets it in my class.
Yeah, 'cause there's zero crossover from chemistry.
Let's go.
We've been going for 45 seconds.
Oh. Start.
To see where modern day Islamic terrorism begins, one has to look not as some people. You don't have to mirror me. You're gonna.
Good to be here.
And then I immediately follow up. Nice.
And with that,
Okay, is it filming?
let's commence.
When?
Whenever you want.
It's good to be here.
It really is a pleasure to be
Okay,
here.
you want to stop?
Why?
That one's not back to back.
Yeah, that one you have to wait.
What are you even saying?
Can you read?
Are you reading this? It's good to be here. Studio, then you, then studio.
But you didn't say your line last time.
Because I'm not here in the shot!
So what were you criticizing the pause for?
The second time!
Oh, the long line. Oh.
I'm a gifted newbie.